Welcome to Dust of Cinnamon and Silent Canals, a deeply soothing sleep story inviting you to the tranquil city of Somnus. If you find peace in this gentle journey and wish for more calming tales, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Before we embark on a peaceful gondola ride through the cinnamon dust canals, let's take a moment for a gentle breathing guidance to prepare your mind and body for deep relaxation. If you prefer to drift directly into the story, you can find chapter timestamps in the description below, ready to guide you whenever you choose. Settle into your most comfortable position, allowing your body to become heavy and supported. Let your limbs rest easily, feeling the gentle weight of your blankets or duvet. Imagine the soft, warm clay of Somnus beneath you, grounding you in a place of stillness. This is your time to unwind, to let go of the day's demands, and simply be present in this peaceful moment. Allow the gentle fragrance of cinnamon and the promise of quiet canals to envelop you in calm. Let's take a slow, calming breath together. Inhale gently through your nose, feeling the air softly fill your lungs, like the gentle rise of cinnamon dust in the morning light. As you exhale slowly through your mouth, imagine releasing any tension or worry, letting it drift away like dust on a soft breeze. With each breath, feel your shoulders softening, your jaw relaxing, and your mind becoming stiller. Visualize the serene canals of Somnus shimmering under a diffused light, inviting you into their quiet embrace. If your thoughts begin to wander, that's perfectly natural. Simply acknowledge them gently, like distant wind chimes, and softly guide your attention back to your breath or to the sound of my voice. There's no need to strive or struggle. Just allow yourself to be carried along by the current of the story, just as a gondola drifts on the cinnamon dust canals. Feel the soft stillness of Somnus settling around you, inviting you into a deep and restful sleep. Now, let us begin our tranquil journey into Somnus, where silent canals and cinnamon-scented dreams await to guide you into a peaceful slumber. Chapter 1. The Gentle Rise of Cinnamon Dust. The city of Somnus awoke in a hush, a stillness that permeated even the very air. No sharp sounds pierced the dawn. Instead, a gentle quietude settled over the reddish-brown clay buildings, muffling the world in a comforting embrace. The only sound, barely audible, was the softest whisper of breeze stirring the cinnamon dust within the canals, a sound akin to a sigh of contentment. A warm, diffused light, the color of apricot nectar, began to seep into the city, painting the silent waterways in gentle hues. Caspian rose with the dawn, his movements slow and deliberate, mirroring the city's tranquil rhythm. He dressed in soft linen garments the color of dried cinnamon bark, the fabric cool and smooth against his skin. Stepping onto his small balcony, he inhaled deeply, the air already thick with a comforting fragrance of cinnamon and a hint of something sweet like baked honey cakes. Below, the canal shimmered, the fine dust reflecting the nascent light in soft, undulating patterns. His gondola, named the Tranquil Dream, rested patiently at its mooring, its dark wood gleaming softly in the gentle light. Caspian descended to the canal side, his bare feet padding softly on the smooth, cool clay stones. He ran a hand along the gondola's polished wood, the surface smooth and warm from the early sun. The scent of aged wood mingled with the ever-present cinnamon, creating a comforting, familiar aroma. He began his morning ritual of preparing the gondola, each movement a practiced gesture of care and respect. He straightened the soft cushions of woven cinnamon-colored cloth, ensuring they were plump and inviting. The texture of the fabric was gentle beneath his fingertips, like spun moonlight. He checked the single oar, its wood smooth and balanced, feeling the familiar weight in his hands. As he worked, the cinnamon dust in the canal began to stir more actively, gently rising and swirling in delicate patterns. It was as if the city itself was slowly awakening, breathing in the new day with a soft, fragrant sigh. The dust shimmered with a subtle, golden light, catching and diffusing the apricot dawn into a hazy, dreamlike glow. Tiny particles danced in the air like miniature fireflies in slow motion. The fragrance of cinnamon intensified, becoming richer and more pronounced, filling the air with its comforting warmth. It was a scent that spoke of home, of peace, of gentle contentment. Caspian closed his eyes for a moment, inhaling deeply, allowing the fragrance to soothe his mind and calm his spirit. He felt a deep connection to the city, to its silent canals and the magical dust that flowed within them. A soft chime drifted from a nearby window, the delicate notes echoing gently across the stillness. It was the sound of someone beginning their day with quiet contemplation, welcoming the dawn with peaceful reflection. The sound resonated with the city's inherent tranquility, a melody of serenity woven into the fabric of Somnus. It was a reminder of the shared peace that permeated every corner of this gentle place. Caspian stepped into the gondola, settling onto one of the soft cushions. The gentle rocking motion was immediately soothing, a lullaby in motion. He dipped the oar into the cinnamon dust, the resistance soft and yielding, like stirring warm sand. With a gentle push, the gondola glided forward, moving silently onto the tranquil canal. The journey into the heart of Somnus had begun, a journey of quietude and gentle wonder. The air around him was still and peaceful, broken only by the almost imperceptible rustle of the cinnamon dust parting before the gondola's prow. The city unfolded slowly, revealing its serene beauty in soft focus, like a watercolor painting gently emerging from the dawn mist. Each building, each bridge, each tiny garden seemed to breathe tranquility, inviting a sense of deep and lasting peace. The world outside of Somnus faded away, leaving only the gentle embrace of this cinnamon-scented haven. He breathed deeply again, the fragrance of cinnamon filling his lungs, carrying with it the promise of a day filled with quiet moments and peaceful journeys. The gentle rise of cinnamon dust marked the true awakening of Somnus, a city where serenity reigned supreme, and where every breath was an invitation to inner calm. The soft apricot light intensified, bathing the canals in a warm, comforting glow, and Caspian continued his tranquil journey, ready to share the peace of Somnus with all who sought its gentle embrace. Chapter 2. A Journey for Serenity. Ilara arrived at the canal side with a quiet sigh of anticipation. The air of Somnus was immediately palpable, a soft, fragrant blanket enveloping her senses. The scent of cinnamon was stronger here, closer to the canals, a warm and comforting aroma that eased the slight tension she carried in her shoulders. The diffused light was gentle on her eyes, a welcome contrast to the sharp brightness of the outside world she had left behind. She spotted Caspian waiting patiently by his gondola, the tranquil dream. His presence was calm and reassuring, his movements slow and deliberate, like the gentle flow of the cinnamon dust canals themselves. He wore soft, cinnamon-colored linen, blending seamlessly into the city's muted palette of warm earth tones. His eyes held a peaceful stillness, reflecting the serenity of Somnus. As she approached, Caspian offered a gentle nod of greeting, his expression kind and welcoming. His voice, when he spoke, was soft and low, like the murmur of a distant stream. "Welcome to Somnus," he said, the words barely disturbing the stillness. "I am Caspian. It is my pleasure to guide you on a journey of peace." His voice itself seemed to carry a calming quality, easing her anxieties before the journey even began. Ilara returned his gentle smile, feeling a sense of relief wash over her. "Thank you, Caspian," she replied, her own voice softer than she usually spoke. "I am Ilara. I've heard whispers of the peace found in Somnus, and I long to experience it myself." She stepped carefully into the gondola, the dark wood smooth and cool beneath her fingertips. The soft cushions invited her to settle in and relax. Caspian assisted her with a quiet grace, ensuring she was comfortably seated before taking his place at the oar. The gondola dipped slightly as he moved, the gentle rocking motion immediately soothing. He pushed off from the bank with a soft, fluid movement, and the tranquil dream glided effortlessly onto the cinnamon dust canal. The transition was seamless, like stepping from the ordinary world into a dream. The sensation of moving on the cinnamon dust was unlike anything Ilara had experienced. It felt both solid and yielding, a gentle resistance that was strangely comforting. The only sound was the almost imperceptible rustle of the dust parting before the gondola, a soft whisper that seemed to emphasize the profound silence of the city. The air was still and warm, carrying the rich fragrance of cinnamon in every breath. Caspian pointed out the sights with quiet gestures, his commentary minimal and focused on the subtle beauties of Somnus. "Notice the balcony gardens," he murmured, his voice barely above a whisper, each one a small sanctuary of peace. Ilara looked up, observing tiny gardens overflowing with fragrant herbs and soft, colorful blossoms, cascading from balconies like gentle waterfalls of nature. The scent of lavender and chamomile drifted down, mingling with the cinnamon. They passed beneath a low, arched bridge, the clay cool and smooth above them. Soft shadows fell across the gondola for a moment, a gentle respite from the diffused sunlight. The air seemed to cool slightly in the shade, carrying a hint of damp earth, a grounding, natural scent. Elara leaned back against the soft cushions, feeling her muscles begin to relax, tension melting away with each gentle glide of the gondola. Caspian gestured towards a small fountain nestled in a quiet alcove along the canal bank. "The fountains of Somnus speak in whispers," he explained softly. The sound of the water was indeed barely audible, a gentle trickle that blended seamlessly with the city's stillness. The fountain was crafted from smooth, pale clay, and the water shimmered with a faint, opalescent light. It seemed to hum with a quiet energy, a subtle vibration of peace. As they continued their journey, Elara closed her eyes for a moment, simply absorbing the sensations of Somnus. The warmth of the cinnamon scent, the gentle rocking of the gondola, the soft, diffused light filtering through her eyelids, the profound stillness that permeated everything. She felt a sense of deep peace settling within her, a quiet contentment she had not realized she was so desperately seeking. The journey into serenity had truly begun, and she was carried along gently on the tranquil currents of Somnus. Chapter 3. Whispers from the Canal Banks. The tranquil dream drifted smoothly into the Weavers' Quarter, a district known for its quiet artistry and gentle rhythms. Here, open workshops lined the canal banks, revealing artisans working with natural fibers and soft, muted colors. The rhythmic click and whir of looms was a gentle, unobtrusive sound, a peaceful counterpoint to the stillness of the city. The air carried the subtle scent of lanolin and freshly dyed threads, a natural, earthy fragrance. Caspian slowed the gondola to an almost imperceptible pace, allowing Elara to fully observe the weavers at their craft. Inside the workshops, artisans sat at wooden looms, their hands moving with practiced grace, weaving intricate patterns into soft fabrics. The materials were all naturally dyed in gentle hues, muted blues, soft greens, warm browns, and delicate lavenders, colors that echoed the tranquility of Somnus itself. Sunlight streamed through open doorways, illuminating the colorful threads in a soft, diffused glow. He pointed towards a workshop overflowing with lavender and chamomile, bundles hanging to dry from the rafters. "The weavers used natural dyes," Caspian murmured, his voice barely disturbing the quiet. "The scents of the plants permeate their work, adding another layer of peace to their creations." The fragrance of lavender and chamomile drifted out into the canal, a soothing herbal aroma that blended harmoniously with the cinnamon dust. Elara breathed deeply, feeling the calming scents ease any remaining tension. One of the weavers, an older woman with kind eyes and gentle hands, paused her work and offered a soft smile to Elara. She held up a length of fabric, woven in delicate shades of blue and green, resembling a tranquil stream flowing through a meadow. The texture looked incredibly soft, inviting touch. Elara returned the smile, feeling a warmth of connection despite the silence. The unspoken kindness was palpable, a gentle current of goodwill flowing through the Weavers' Quarter. Caspian shared quiet stories of the city's history as they drifted along, his voice a soft, measured murmur. He spoke of Somnus's founding, of its dedication to peace and tranquility, and of the gentle magic that permeated its very foundations. He recounted tales not of grand heroes or dramatic battles, but of quiet resilience, simple acts of kindness, and the beauty of everyday life in Somnus. His words were like a soothing balm, calming and reassuring. He told of the cinnamon dust canals, how they were formed naturally over centuries, imbued with a calming energy from the earth itself. He explained the luminous moss gardens, hidden sanctuaries created to foster inner peace and reflection. Each story painted a picture of Somnus as a place intentionally designed for serenity, a refuge from the clamor of the outside world. Ilara listened intently, feeling a deeper connection to the city with each gentle narrative. Ilara reached out and touched the smooth, cool clay of the canal bank as the gondola drifted close to the edge. The texture was grounding and comforting, a tangible link to the earth beneath Somnus. The clay felt warmed by the sun, yet retained a coolness within, a pleasant contrast to the gentle warmth of the air. She traced the patterns in the clay with her fingertips, feeling a sense of connection to the ancient city and its peaceful foundations. They passed a small tea house nestled amongst the workshops, the aroma of warm spices and herbs wafting out into the canal. Soft music played on a stringed instrument drifted from within, a gentle melody that added to the overall tranquility. Caspian gestured towards it. Perhaps later, after our journey, we could enjoy a calming tea there, he suggested softly. The idea was inviting, a promise of further peace and gentle companionship. A soft breeze stirred the cinnamon dust, causing it to shimmer and swirl around the gondola in delicate patterns. The sunlight filtered through the dust, creating a hazy golden glow that enveloped them in warmth and gentle light. The air felt thick with peace, a tangible serenity that seemed to emanate from the very fabric of Somnus. Ilara closed her eyes again, feeling completely at ease, letting the whispers of the canal banks and the gentle magic of Somnus wash over her. As they left the weaver's quarter, the rhythmic clicking of looms faded behind them, replaced once more by the profound stillness of Somnus. The fragrance of cinnamon deepened again, a constant, comforting presence. Ilara felt a sense of gratitude for this journey, for the gentle guidance of Caspian, and for the profound peace she was discovering within herself and within the quiet embrace of this extraordinary city. The whispers of the canal banks had spoken of serenity, and she was listening deeply. Chapter 4. The Garden of Silent Reflections. Caspian gently guided the tranquil dream towards a less frequented canal, a hidden waterway that branched off from the main path, disappearing behind a screen of fragrant jasmine vines. The scent of jasmine intensified as they approached, a sweet, heady aroma that filled the air with its delicate fragrance. The entrance to this hidden canal felt like a secret gateway, leading to an even deeper level of tranquility within Somnus. As they passed through the jasmine vines, the canal opened into a serene garden, a hidden sanctuary bathed in a soft, diffused green light. Luminous moss grew thickly along the canal banks, casting a gentle emerald glow that illuminated the water and the surrounding foliage. The air here was cooler and damper, carrying the scent of damp earth, moss, and blooming water lilies. The silence was even more profound in this hidden space, a stillness that felt almost palpable. The only sounds were the gentle rustling of bamboo leaves in a soft breeze, and the distant, soothing cooing of doves hidden amongst the foliage. These sounds, far from disturbing the peace, seemed to enhance it, adding layers of natural tranquility to the already serene atmosphere. The bamboo stalks swayed gently in the breeze, their movements slow and graceful like a peaceful dance. Water lilies, their blossoms in soft shades of white and pale pink, drifted serenely on small, still pools within the garden. Their reflections in the water created a mirrored world of tranquility, doubling the beauty and amplifying the sense of peace. The petals of the lilies were delicate and velvety, inviting a gentle touch. Their fragrance, subtle and sweet, mingled with the other natural scents of the garden. Caspian brought the gondola to a gentle stop beside a small landing, crafted from smooth river stones. He secured the boat with a soft rope, his movements quiet and unhurried. "This is the Garden of Silent Reflections," he murmured, his voice barely audible. "A place to simply be, to listen to the silence, and to find peace within." He gestured towards the moss-covered banks, inviting Ilara to disembark and explore the garden. Ilara stepped onto the riverstone landing, the smooth, cool stones pleasant beneath her bare feet. The air was refreshingly cool in the shade of the moss and bamboo, a welcome contrast to the gentle warmth of the Cinnamon Canals. The green light cast by the luminous moss was soft and soothing to her eyes, creating an atmosphere of gentle enchantment. She felt drawn to wander deeper into the garden, to explore its hidden corners. They walked in comfortable silence along a narrow path that wound through the moss garden. The ground beneath their feet was soft and springy, cushioned by layers of moss. The air felt clean and pure, filled with the natural fragrance of the garden. Sunlight filtered through the bamboo canopy in dappled patterns, creating shifting mosaics of light and shadow on the moss-covered ground. They came to a small clearing beside one of the still pools where smooth, moss-covered stones formed natural seats. Caspian gestured for Ilara to sit, and he settled down beside her, maintaining a respectful distance. They sat in comfortable silence, observing the water lilies drifting on the still water, their reflections shimmering in the soft green light. The silence was not empty, but full of a profound peace, a quietude that spoke volumes. The cooing of doves grew slightly closer, the soft, soothing sounds a gentle reminder of the natural world surrounding them. A butterfly, its wings a delicate shade of pale blue, fluttered past, landing briefly on a water lily before drifting away again. Every detail in the garden seemed designed to promote tranquility, to encourage quiet contemplation, and to foster inner peace. Ilara closed her eyes, breathing deeply the cool, moss-scented air. She felt a profound sense of release, of letting go of all worries and anxieties. The Garden of Silent Reflections held a unique magic, a power to still the mind and soothe the soul. In this hidden sanctuary of peace, surrounded by luminous moss, drifting water lilies, and the gentle cooing of doves, Ilara found a depth of serenity she had never known before. The silence itself was a balm, a gentle whisper of profound tranquility. Chapter 5. Returning to Stillness. As the afternoon gently softened into dusk, casting long diffused shadows across Somnus, Caspian and Ilara began their return journey from the Garden of Silent Reflections. The green light of the luminous moss deepened, casting an ethereal glow over the hidden canal as they retraced their path through the jasmine vines. The scent of jasmine, now tinged with the coolness of evening, was even more fragrant and intoxicating. A gentle sense of peace permeated the air, a soft promise of restful slumber. They glided back onto the main cinnamon dust canal as the sky began to blush with soft hues of rose and apricot. The diffused light of dusk painted the clay buildings in warm, gentle tones, softening their outlines and enhancing their inherent serenity. The air cooled slightly, carrying with it the fragrance of night-blooming jasmine from balcony gardens, a sweet, delicate aroma that heralded the coming night. A sense of quiet anticipation settled over the city as it prepared for rest. Caspian guided the tranquil dream with a gentle rhythm, his oar dipping silently into the cinnamon dust, creating almost imperceptible ripples on its shimmering surface. The pace was languid and unhurried, allowing ample time to absorb the serene beauty of Somnus at twilight. The city seemed to exhale a collective sigh of contentment, settling into a state of peaceful stillness. The sounds of the day faded almost entirely, leaving only the softest whispers of the evening breeze. Ilara watched as the first few lights began to twinkle in windows, soft, warm glows that punctuated the deepening twilight. These lights were not harsh or bright, but gentle beacons of home and tranquility, each one promising comfort and respite. The city felt like a haven of peace, preparing to embrace the quietude of night. A sense of cozy contentment settled over Ilara, a feeling of being completely safe and at ease. They passed the tea house they had noticed earlier, now softly illuminated with lanterns casting a warm, inviting glow. The aroma of calming herbal teas, subtly spiced and fragrant, drifted out onto the canal, a tempting invitation to linger and prolong the peace of the evening. The gentle music from within was still audible, now softer and more soothing, like a lullaby whispered on the evening air. Caspian turned the gondola gently, guiding it back towards Ilara's starting point. The journey was nearing its end, but the peace of Somnus remained, deeply imprinted in Ilara's mind and body. She felt lighter, calmer, and more centered than she had in a long time. The city's gentle magic had worked its quiet wonders, restoring her inner harmony and offering a profound sense of tranquility. As they approached the canal bank, the familiar sight of Ilara's starting point came into view, now bathed in the soft, rosy light of dusk. The cinnamon dust shimmered with a final, gentle glow, reflecting the fading light in delicate patterns. The air felt heavy with peace, a lasting residue of the city's serene essence. The fragrance of cinnamon was still present, a comforting reminder of the tranquil journey. Caspian brought the tranquil dream smoothly alongside the bank, securing it with quiet efficiency. He turned to Elara, his expression gentle and serene. "I hope your journey has brought you peace, Elara," he said softly, his voice filled with genuine warmth. His words were simple, yet they carried a deep sincerity, echoing the quiet kindness of Somnus. Elara smiled, a genuine, heartfelt smile that reached her eyes. "It has, Caspian," she replied, her voice soft and filled with gratitude. "More peace than I could have imagined. Thank you for guiding me through this beautiful city." She stepped from the gondola onto the canal bank, feeling grounded and refreshed, carrying the tranquility of Somnus within her. Caspian watched as Elara departed, walking slowly and peacefully into the gentle twilight of Somnus. A quiet contentment settled over him as he turned back to the tranquil dream, ready to welcome the evening's soft stillness and the peaceful slumber of the city. The cinnamon dust canals flowed silently on, carrying the essence of tranquility through the heart of Somnus, promising rest and rejuvenation to all who sought its gentle embrace.